I have kept the topic like this, demystifying extension. I want to make some light. I want to open the extension. What is extension? It is a mystery. Now I want to make it more open to the people, demystifying extension, linking. That is where our principle lies. That is linking research to development. Extension is nothing. It is but linking research to development. Previously, we were talking about lab to land. But you remember, now I am talking that research to development. Everywhere, if you are not able to transform your research to development, then extension has failed. So with this, I want to tell you something about the agriculture extension. Already you have gone through these things. So I should not, just is for your knowledge only. Basic things are same. It's a transformation of knowledge, skill, attitude, everything that is same. That we cannot change this thing to improve the quality of life. Agriculture narrows the focus down. Okay, these things you have already read. I should not read these things. This is also objective extension, almost same. Objectives we cannot change, but our approach to achieve that objective should be changed, because things have been changed, many things have been developed in between. Our information pathway have been changed, people's needs have been changed, outlook has been changed. So that exposure now, during our period, the exposure what we were getting, our children's now they are getting, I think, 10 times more exposure than our period. That doesn't mean that we cannot tell that no, you have to follow the same process, same practice, these things. We have to change our approach. We have to change now. You see, just I will give an example. Have you ever thought of this kind of online teaching system, online lecture delivering, this thing, that thing? But you see, when COVID, that pandemic came, people started realizing, because that is a threat to their life. When there is a threat to your life, threat for your existence, then you will have to follow, because that is a threat to your life, threat to your society, threat to your family. Then people started, sometimes people also face problem for the online meeting, online lectures, these things. But now it has become a practice. It has become essential. So it is not now a comfort, these things. It is, now it has not become it is not a luxurious type of things. It is a comfortable. So that's why we are now adapted with that situation. Similarly, because when things are changing, we have to also adapt to the situation accordingly. Our approach, you see here, our approach was changed. Previously our physical system of meeting was there. Physical system, we'll go there, we'll give some we'll have to take TA from the office, then we'll have to pay to the different types of airways, then we'll have to reach there, somebody will come to receive us like this, then you have to stay in the guest house. 2-3 days will unnecessarily wastage of time, wastage of money, these things. Now you see, this is the way. Within 1 minute we are connecting with each other, we are sharing our information. Are we not sharing the information as effectively as it is previously? Yes. We are also putting the questions, we are also answering. Okay, sometimes we may tell that sometimes physical verification of certain things may not be possible, but delivering a lecture, sharing knowledge with the other partners, or sharing knowledge, or getting some knowledge from the other resource person from the other end of the country, it has become very easy. So that's why our approach has been changed. Similarly, we have to also think like this. So these are all objectives, same like our theory. So here I'll tell you these things. If you'll just to go through these things, you'll be able to know why you are now thinking of this thing. Base things are same. information communication training. Sometimes I will tell you one thing, students, you are now PG students tomorrow, because every time other discipline scientists or faculties, they used to laugh at the social scientists sometimes. So you should not be discouraged by this, because this is a science, anybody can talk on this. This is a science, anybody can talk on this, but you should talk in a scientific way. It is my humble request to you, as a extension scientist, you should not talk like the other people as they talk like about extension. When you talk about extension, you should talk the science of the extension. It is not the only information communication these things. So it is information communication training that everybody can talk. But when you talk on these things, you will talk, your style of talking, your style of deliberation will be different from others. Extension works on transforming research to development. If that thing will ask a questions to the concerned technologist, how your variety will give an impetus to the present variety by replacing that variety. What are the points? What are the advantageous point of your variety over the prevailing variety? This is the simple question. If you'll put, then you'll get, slowly you'll get many questions adding to that. Then it may tell that, oh, it can increase the production. It may do these things. Then you have to ask, what is the package of practice? What is your cost of cultivation? These things. What is your labor and whether labor intensive or not? How much fertilizer you are giving? Whether it is organically suitable or not? If the product, whether it is liked by the customer or not? What is its market price? So many things will come. Whether it is having the pest insect infestation, that the susceptibility to different pest and infestation, these things, whether it is a lowland variety, highland variety, or like this, so many things you can ask. Then ultimately you will see somewhere, that is the question you are putting. You are not going, you have not tested that variety. It is being tested by the researcher. They are claiming that it is being tested. But whenever the technology is tested or validated, it should be with the involvement of the social scientist. Because social scientist will validate the technology with respect to the field condition, with respect to the different field condition, maybe physical, economic, marketing, social, physiological, many factors are there. Then only it can be validated over the control. Then only we can say that, okay, it is better, or it is a successful or a failure technology as compared to the previous one. Then if it is a failure, it can be refined. If it can be refined properly, then only it can be given for the demonstration. Again, demonstration may fail at different places also. So that social science, you are at a better position to judge the technology. Do you think that only writing a paper, only publishing a technical bulletin or this thing, can we call it a technology? No, cannot call it a technology. You cannot take this technology to the field in a raw condition unless and until it is being tested by the different agencies. So when a research we are telling that it should convert it to development, their extension role is there. What is the development? Improvement in production, income generation, employment generation, entrepreneurship development, nutritional development, livelihood development. And all these things are maybe very simple things for the other people. But for social scientists, these are very important things, because simply you cannot tell that improvement in production, because you know the indicators, you know the parameters for the improvement in production, you know the parameters to measure the income, you know the parameters to measure the employment generation, entrepreneurship, nutritional development. This is that is called science of the extension. Nutritional development, somebody will come by introducing these things, and nutritional security has come. But what is the parameters for measuring the nutritional security? That you have to do these things. That is the science that other people may not able to do this thing. And how it can be measured, because nutritional security, simply by telling one thing, nutritional security will not come. It depends upon many factors. So that is the job of the social scientist. So now I'll tell you what is the protocol of technology transfer system. That should be also understood by the all extension people. When are you talking about the technology transfer system, it is not simply you take the technology, just demonstrate, then give to somebody, we have done the technology transfer. That is most of the extension agencies are doing, and they are telling that we have done this much of technology transfer program. But can we call it as a technology transfer program? No. Their social scientist role is there. Because you see, this is the technology generation stage. That is the institute, research organization, colleges. They are doing some research work. They are developing the technology generation. Then when technology generation is there, without technology, that after that it should be followed by technology validation. Don't you forget about the writing of paper. Paper writing, even I'll tell you one thing, paper writing is another skill that is separate. That we cannot tell that writing a paper doesn't establish that that is a technology, is a validated technology. Because writing a paper with some data, that is separate. That is immaterial. Because when are you going for validation of the technology through different trials, on-farm trials, multi-locational trials, then only you'll be able to know whether your technology is performing in the field or not. That should be done by a social scientist with the involvement of the technology scientist, but it should be with the help of a social scientist, that is an extension or economic scientist. Then only at this stage, technology validation, and then technology adaptation, then technology integration. These three stages, that is called on-farm trial, that is being done through a process called technology assessment and refinement, that is being done by the KVK. One agency between the research and extension, that is called KVK. Krishi Vigyan Kendra, you all know these things. They have a mandated activity, that is on-farm trial. Through this, they go for the technology validation at the grassroots level, at the micro level. Even at a district level also, different agroecological situation will be there. So different agroecological situation also, your technology may perform differently. So that is called validation. And there you will have to adapt your technology as per the local prevailing condition on the basis of their physiological, physical, economical, social, everything, cultural also. Technology adaptation. Why I am telling you cultural also? Suppose, for example, some society, because since you are social science, I want to share with you, particularly in our Hindu religion, particularly Hindu religions, somewhere in the other religions also, some particular farming is being prohibited. Suppose Hindu religion, somewhere some Brahmin community, they will not adhere to the fish farming or this piggery farming or poultry farming. Like so many religions having different kinds of taboos, cultural taboos, customs are there. So that also plays an important role for the technology adaptation. So during this on-farm trial, social scientists used to deal with all kinds of conditions, even including the social cultural conditions, socio-cultural factors. Then technology integration. There, after that, you can integrate we can blend the modern technology with the conventional one, because conventional practice must be having some good points which can be considered by your researcher while developing a technology. That's why we used to emphasize that we should go for participatory technology development. So that participatory technology development always used to do participatory breeding program, these things. But can you please tell me how many scientists are really going for the participatory technology development, participatory breeding program? How many scientists are really going for this? It is in pen and paper, everything being written. But maybe I will tell you, maybe 10 to 20% technology are participatory technology development. Many technology first they are being developed by the scientists on their own in the lab or in the field. After that, they will involve the stakeholders. So that is not participatory technology development. At least social scientists also should be involved at the time of technology development process. So then come technology integration. Then technology integration, that is the blending of our modern as well as our conventional technology, or may not be also, but it should be a blending of so that technology can be easily adopted by the stakeholders over their conventional practice. Then technology demonstration. When it is being adapted, integrated, this thing that is through a process of technology assessment and refinement, then only we can go for the technology demonstration. That is the frontline technology demonstration. Here we used to demonstrate the technology, handhold the stakeholders. Then at this stage, technology automatically it becomes a technology dissemination. That is a process of technology dissemination. When people will be convinced about the advantages of the technology, your benefits of the technology, then they will get some skill when handholding. During the process of handholding, they will get some skills and knowledge, these things. Then automatically the process of technology dissemination starts. That is a frontline dissemination, frontline demonstration. So here technology demonstration, skill based capacity building. Then the stage comes, that is technology adoption. Here from technology generation to this technology adoption, the whole stages, 8 stages are called protocol of technology transfer system. So all the social scientists and in which KVK plays an important role in between the research and extension organization, that is through OFT and FLD, that social scientists should take into consideration these points. These are the roles of the different organization at different stages. Then only these are the process, then only technology can be transferred. So whether are you going through these stages or not, that is the main question. And when are you going through different stages, we have to follow different extension approaches to go to the field, to approach our stakeholders for our technology validation or technology demonstration or adaptation, this kind of things. So this is a technology diffusion model. So here you see research development, research system generation, KVK, and here we are getting feedback for technology refinement. Again, after that, feed forward, it is going to the extension organization, NGO, cooperatives, line department. So they are responsible of technology backstopping, dissemination, adoption. So here I want to tell you one thing, because when I told you, because many things when we think of, simply we blame our stakeholders, these things. Keeping yourself at the position of the stakeholders, you once think. Suppose you are a farmer, suppose you are a fisherman, or you are a processor, somebody came to you, told you that, or asked you, it is my technology. You take this technology, you will get more benefit, your farm income will be doubled, like this. As a farmer, your bread and butter, you are earning your bread and butter from a single patch of land, whatever you are having is, because in India, many are more than 60-70% people are small and marginal farmers. So you wait for one season to get your crop so that you can maintain your livelihood. Somebody will come, you take these things, you will get better income. Is it possible for you to believe on this fellow? Why you will believe? Whether he will give you any compensation if something will lost, or you don't want to lose anything also. Compensation is secondary thing. First of all, You don't want to lose your product or your income, other things, because you have to earn your livelihood or your children, these things. So that is the thing. Suppose somebody who told you this thing, this is the data stage. I'll tell you, some figures will this variety will give you 2 times more income, more production than you. Here will get 4.5 tons per hectare. Here will get 7 tons per hectare. This much of panicles per plant like this. So many data will give, and here you are getting this much of panicles. On the basis of data, when are you telling that provides information to a person? Any kind of thing. Suppose when are you going to purchase a vehicle, we are talking about what is the CC of this vehicle, whether this is what are the different facilities are there, whether many things are there. What is a automatic or manual system? What is 1400 cc, 900 cc, or this much? How many cylinders are there? Many. These are all data. On the basis of data, you are getting information about the whole automobiles. You are making a comparison of different automobiles. So like this farmer used to have a comparison of different varieties. It is not you. You are marketing your technology. Another private person will come, he will market for his variety. Another person from another institute come, he will market for his variety. But a poor farmer, he will judge your variety, compare your these things. But it is not like that automobile technology or mobile technology immediately will not get the result. It is agriculture. You will have to put that thing in the practice, then only you will get the result. Whether you will go for these things. Who will pay for this? And suppose you will lose, who will be responsible for maintaining his livelihood? So these are some of the basic things. Sometimes we never understand these things. And we used to talk and talk and talk. So when you go to the field, that is the reality. That is the reality. You may conduct the program, you may give a demonstration, this thing, that thing, you may do many things. But when you go to the field next time, you'll see your variety may not be there. Maybe there or may not be there. But at that time, what you say, no, I have conducted these things, but these people are not taking what I should do. This is the fault of the technology. Some social scientists, they used to blame the technology. But that also, I'm not telling that you should not blame the technology simply you cannot blame the technology. You should have certain background data. You should have certain background information on what basis the technology, whether it has performed in the field or not performed. Because that is the stage when you go and compare this technology, that gives you a knowledge about the different type of practice, different types of technology. Then when you get this knowledge, that will give you understanding so that you can take a decision. Oh yes, I should go for these things. Or he will think that, okay, half person of my field, I may take up this technology because this is, I think it is better than this, because these are the varieties, because you must have got some knowledge by visiting different field, by interacting with your peers, by interacting with your fellow farmers, by interacting with the scientists, many things, and by arranging some quality planting material or quality inputs like this, then it will give you understanding that, okay, I'll take it. Here you will take a that type of things will come, you will take a decision. That is the stage that comes your wisdom. So when are you telling so many things, the farmer, the stakeholders passes through this bunch of stages. When he comes to this stages only, he will receive your information. Simply you may tell that I am giving information, I am having this much of information. Do you think that many YouTubers, many people are giving information, these things? But how many YouTubers having millions of viewers, and how many YouTubers also one after some days you will see they are not in the picture? But many YouTubers are having millions of viewers because their way of delivering the information, their authenticity is there. So That should be authenticity. That should be interesting. That should be understandable. There should not be any complexity in that information. So that kind of things. So then only things information can be passed and effective. So this is just one example I'm telling you. Always people used to have a confusion about the output, outcome, this thing, that thing, while planning for it, because some of you may go for some research scientist or faculties. So when are you planning any research, these things, other people, other discipline people, for them objective goals, aims may be almost same. They may not able to distinguish from each other. But as a social scientist, you should have a clear-cut idea about your objective, goal, this thing, that thing. Because tomorrow you are answerable for the impact. So you should know if I am taking a technology, a variety, these things, when I'm putting into practice, that is implementation stage, it gives a output, that is increase in yield. So simply increase in yield, whether it can change, whether it can bring an impact, whether it can bring a impact in the production scenario, how will bring an impact in the production scenario, impact in the income generation, impact in the employment generation, or impact in the nutritional security. So these are all outcomes. So how you'll do this, the output, there are different factors, parameters will be there, which may be responsible for the your outcome, that is impact. So your way of finding the research outcome will be different from others. So that's why social scientists are being given the responsibility by the Niti Aayog or policymakers to find out the impact of a technology, impact of a product, impact of a process, because they have the methodology, because they are the persons to judge the technology. They know what is the short-term impact, what is the medium-term impact, what is the long-term impact also. So accordingly, you have to categorize the things also. So that way your role is very crucial in the agriculture sector. So here, while going to a field, you must all have gone through all these things during your theory. Here I'll tell you, this is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Suppose when you are going to the field, you should go to this stage only directly, because now our most of the stakeholders, most of our beneficiaries, they are at this stage, self-esteem stage. So you give them recognition, you give them respect, okay, because they already they are having their physiological needs, safety needs, love, belongings, other things, food and shelter, anyway they are getting. But when they are at this stage now, that is the self-esteem stage. They want recognition. Recognition in terms of getting more income, in terms of developing one big entrepreneurship unit, so that he can run a business. That is a sort of recognition. He wants a self-esteem in the society, because for that he has some achievement motivation, where only he needs some, because somebody wants to achieve something, means he will take up your technology, he will come forward to take up any new type of things, innovation. So you know there are different types of adoption categories are there. So that stage is called self-esteem. So you have to search some beneficiaries, you have to identify some beneficiaries, not from these three stages. You have to identify the beneficiaries from these stages who really want to do something for himself, for the society, because he wants to be respected by others, he wants some recognition in the society, and he himself very much conscious about his self-esteem. So you have to identify, because identification of beneficiaries is first most important thing to make your technology dissemination process effective, because they are the people who will guide you, who are the torch bearer of your technology in the society. So you have to find out the beneficiary at this stage. Then if they will, because these people will come to this stage, Because if this stage they will come self-actualization, then only you are everything. You are successful in giving the technology. So that's why identification, because from them only other three categories people they will follow slowly, they will follow these people. So you have to go as per the higher need hierarchy, need hierarchy. This four stage people you have to identify as your beneficiary. Then I'll tell what is the logic model of extension. That is the successful mantras. Because we may think that, suppose sometimes I have also argued with many social scientists, they will come, sir, this technology is not working in the field. I used to ask them, why it is not working in the field? Don't tell that it is not working in the field. Then they will tell, sir, these are the things, this is it. I tell that, okay, you are a scientist. As a scientist, you tell what are the technologies already same type of technology or practice what is available in the field, and what is your new technology, what you want to take to the field as a replacement of that previous one, controlled one or conventional one. How it is better than this or how it is inferior than this, with some, with basis of, with respect to certain parameters. Okay, just I'll give you an example so that you will able to understand it more clearly. Now I have started giving our technology for validation, because this institute I am working in a Central Institute of Fishery Technology. Our technologies are mostly, because extension we can work in any organization, because we are dealing with the methodology for technology validation, technology dissemination, technology transfer, technology testing, and besides that we used to conduct many research related to human behavior, consumer behavior, impact assessment, many things. Technology transfer system, many things. So what I did for making our technology more popular, I started giving passing on our technology to different KVKs for technology validation through their on-farm trial. So one fine morning, one fishery SMS from one KVK, he called me, sir, one of your technology, that's a fish descaling machine. Fish descaling, removing the scales of the fish. That is, we have a machine that's a manual descaling, fish descaling machine. Suppose one handle is there, you put in one perforated box type of thing, cylinder type of things. You put some 1 kg of fish, just you through a handle, you just rotate it. So automatically through that friction, that fish scale will be removed. That is one machine is there. That is only 5,000 to 6,000 rupees is there. So I have given for that one for the on-farm trial, that is technology validation. He gave me a call, sir, your technology is not working in the field, not being liked by the people. Then I told that, okay, why? He told us, sir, in one Amazon, one fish descaling fish descale remover, scale remover is available. That is only 200 rupees. One type of just spoon type of things. Just somebody can, any fish vendor, just they can remove the scale easily. So I told that, okay, that is, you are talking in a very common man's language. Easily removing scale, easily like this in a common man's language. You tell me how much time it takes for removing scale of, what is the size of the fish, how much time it takes for removing the scale, and what is the percentage of removal of these things, what is the drudgery by removing the scale. If you remove the scale like this, how much of drudgery is being involved there. So many things are there. So what if is removing the scale of one fish, 1 kg of fish in 10 minutes. Same thing you compare here. If you are putting 3 kg of fish here or 5 kg of fish, you are 10 minutes, we can removing the scales of 5 kg of fish at a time. Then he told that, sir, cleaning again it becomes difficult. Because here simply removing the cell. I told that cleaning also another parameter. You put another parameter cleaning. For cleaning, how much water will be required, how much these things. But If for a customer, some customers are standing before you, if you are removing one fish scale, it takes 10 minutes, and a customer, another 4 5 customers are standing before you. If you are just putting 5 fish in one fish descaling machine, within 10 minutes you are removing the scale with this much of labor, this much of time, which is better than your uh, that conventional. I told you, tell me in a scientific way with certain parameters. Don't tell because you are scientist. So that is the thing. So my point is that when are you demonstrating a technology successfully, it is not, you cannot demonstrate the result successfully. It doesn't mean that technology is not working, or you don't think that you failed in the field. Technology, sometimes technology fails because of many reasons. You may not, because the researcher may not be able to know how it performs in the field. Fields, many factors are there. So if you cannot demonstrate the result successfully, you cannot win. Okay. If you don't measure the results, you cannot tell success or failure. So you have to measure your results on the basis of certain scientific parameters. If you cannot see success, you cannot learn from it. That's why till getting the success of the technology, you have to refine, you have to modify your technology, so that you will able to learn something. So as long as you are not successful in performing the technology in the field, you cannot learn from it. And again, if you cannot recognize the failure, you cannot rectify. That is another thing. So that is the job of the extension scientist, social scientist. So you have to, that logic you have to keep in your mind. Simply blaming a technology scientist, your technology is not working, or blaming a farmer, you are not, they are not able to take up these things, your job will not be over. Because theory is different, your practical experience will be different. So these are the things you have to keep in mind. So when are you going for any extension program planning, you have to keep 5W1H, what to be done, what are the problems in the field, who are your clients, and why you want to intervene with certain specific technology. Problems may be many. Okay, there are many problems. You cannot resolve all the problems, but you want to intervene with certain technology that may resolve one of the problem. But why it is? Have you prioritized the problem? Many problems will be there. Since you are an agriculture scientist, you want to give these things variety. No, whether variety is their priority, or disease infestation is their priority, or production is their priority, or any irrigation problem is their priority. So as per their priority only you have to give. So why to be done? That need, you have to see, no, they are satisfied with their variety. They don't want your variety. But you told, no, I am having only one technology, that is only variety. I will go with the variety. No. For that you have to find out some other clients who wants your variety. These people may want disease infestation, some disease, some related to integrated pest management technology, something. So that thing. So that is the major things we'll have to differentiate. What are their problems, and what is their priority among all the problems? As per these things, what is their needs? Then how to be done? How you are going to do this thing? Planning. Some planning you have to do, because they are following your practice. You want to intervene in between that practice. How you are planning to intervene in that? How will be intervened? Then where to be done? What is the location? When to be done? Timely, that is most important. And by whom to be done? Because nowadays we are talking about convergence. Because previously we never thought that, okay, agriculture people, they will go, they will do something. Department people, college people will go, they will do something. KVK will go, they will do something. And some private NGOs, they will go, they will do some things. So different agencies, they are going to the farmers, same stakeholders, they are doing, they are giving different types of technology in a different way. But if you do think that if all this can be combined together, that's That is a convergence approach. If all these things will be combined together in a planned manner, if it can be given to the stakeholders, so that should not be any duplication effort, duplication of money, duplication of more involvement of human resources. So that will be more effective. So that's why by whom to be done, who are to be involved, that should also be finalized. So these are the Indian agriculture problems are there already. You know these things. These are all common problems are there. But when we talk of these things, these are the challenges. Now the poor planning, evaluation, these things, everybody talks about this. But here I want to, these are all for common extension methods used to follow. That is individual methods, group methods, mass methods, these things. That is being followed, and that is also the basic things needs to be followed also. But after that, you have to consider some of the things which has brought a transformation in the extension scenario. Now we are in the 21st century, that is the extension plus. We are extension plus stage, not as extension stage. Our objective previously was transfer of technology. But remember, I will tell you, now our objective is not transfer of technology. Now we are talking that capacity building program. If you build the capacity of the stakeholders, automatically your transfer of technology will be there. They will demand your technology. You build up their capacity, you give them information, you develop their skill, give them knowledge, these things. You try to convince them about your technology so that you have to perform. Then only that is called capacity building. When you develop their capacity, they will convince your technology. Automatically, they will come from the data to wisdom says. They will demand your technology. You should not compel them to take this technology. They will select your technology. You have a basket of technology. You open, this is my basket of technology. The technology may be from ICAR Institute, maybe from university, maybe from NGO, whatever. For farmers, technologies, they want some good technologies. For them, technology generators are different. For us, our interest is our technology should be disseminated. No, as a social scientist, you should forget these things. This is not a mine technology, MPKV technology, or a safety technology. If I am going with, because I am having only within that area, within that purview only, I can talk. So I am going with the technology. But they may not like my technology. So there, I'll have to change the stakeholders. I'll have to change the location. That is called if capacity building. Now this is planning. Planning previously, we used to plan for them, but now they will have to plan for them. It is bottom-up approach, not top-down approach. Government should prepare action plan. It's okay for policy level these things, but action plan when it will be realized, when it will be coming into picture, that concerned extension officer or extension scientist, social scientist, they should sit with the people. They should plan together what are the things they require. So there should be bottom-up approach. What are the variety they require? It's not that we have given the requisition of that variety, farmers will have to take up this variety. That may be your target as a government servant, but farmers don't want this variety. Farmers want that variety. So that bottom-up approach should be followed, and accordingly planning should be done. Then previously it was production-led, seed to seed, supply-driven, but now it has become market-driven. We're thinking about seed to consumer, farm to fork, up to consumer plate, up to pond to plate, up to tide to table. We used to tell like this. Production to till it reaches to the consumer. So it has passed through a market. That is called demand driven. Then nature of technology, previously it was a recommended package. Now we are talking about diverse package of practice. Because our locations are many locations, multi-location, knowledge intensive, broad-based. Technology should be like this. So diverse package of practice should be there. Previously, no, this is not my recommended package of practice. That is up to your recommended. But when you come to the field, that pH level will vary, that your nutritional level of the soil will vary, temperature will vary, so many. So you should have a diverse package of practice. So there itself, social scientists can take a decision for a diverse, giving a diverse package of practice in consultation with the scientist. Now, farmers here, previously individual approach, now it is group approach. Previously, farmers are considered as the progressive. We're talking about only progressive. Now we are talking about preneurs, agripreneurs, fishpreneurs, like this, entrepreneurs. Then role of extension only to the delivery mode, feedback to research, but now connecting farmers to processors and markets. So this is the most important changes have been done in the extension plus stage. Farmers have been connected to processors and markets. It is not only farmers will produce and then whether it will be marketed or not. But now the stage has come. You have to build the capacity of the farmers. You have to connect the farmers to the processors, to the markets. Then only your chain will be fulfilled. Your extension will be successful. Previously, linkage was there limited to research extension farmers. But now that linkage has been extended to market stage. So that way, our information horizon has been also changed. When are you talking of the market, your information will be huge information will have to provide. And farmers also now very much conscious about the information pathways, any information pathways. They're habituated with WhatsApp, they're habituated with YouTube, Twitter, Insta, Facebook, many things, website. So they're habituated. So we have to teach the farmers how to get the information. Slowly, other farmers, you see, do you think that we are still in the 60s? I don't think. Our generation has been changed a lot and we have to accept the change. But the change of development has, the direction of development has turned in a different way. Our most of the youth, most of the young generations now they are diverted towards the other sector other than the agriculture sector. That thing we have, these are the naked truth. Why they are diverted from farmer's son now is not interested for doing the farming. Why? It is obvious. Because if they are not getting it, because a white collar job is not there. Because we have to make our agriculture like this, it is just like a IT hub we have to make. We have to commercialize that essence we have to add to the agriculture. It should be commerce. It should be a high means vibrant scope of the commercialization should be there. So then only people will come forward. That's why now we are talking about ARIA scheme, attracting and retaining youth towards agriculture. Government is making different schemes, attracting and retaining youth in the agriculture sector. So that's why our linkage has been extended. So our approach as per these things also needs to be changed. Previously, we were talking about only production through package of practice. Now we are talking about the good agriculture practice, pest management practice. Not only the package of practice recommended on the lab level or field level by the farm scientist. We have to find out a good agriculture practice, best management practice which can be adopted. So that's why now we are talking about various type of extension approaches where we are talking about disruptive approach, disruptive extension. We are talking about the disruptive agriculture. Means many things are changing, climates are changing, temperatures are changing, many things are changing. Likewise, human behaviors are changing, human knowledges are changing, exposures are changing. So due to many factors, everything are changing day by day. So our extension should be have some disruptive extension approach. So here just I will give an example, some idea about the our early 1980s approach, you must have all gone through this TNB system, IBLP system, but every system having their own flaws are also there, some advantages also there. And again, 21st century also, farmers field school, farmer to farmer extension, market led extension, digital extension, public private partnership, many things have also come. But still then it was felt that things have been changed a lot. These things are there. People are following these things. But it has gone through a transformation stage. That now we are talking about some more approach like commodity-based village development. Now government is talking about ODOP, one district, one product. This is the output of this commodity-based village development. ODOP things have come. Rural Advisory Service. One student just at the starting of my lecture, he was very much concerned about the information scarcity, these things. Now there is information hunger among the people. People are curious to get some information about various type of developments are occurring, various type of scopes and opportunities, schemes, technologies, many things. But simply by technology, they are not satisfied at this point. They want after that how technology can be useful, how it can be marketed, how if I go for this product, what are the different scope, what is the demand of the product in the market, what is the demand of the product in the export sector. So this type of information. Then MVSC, model village system of extension. I just now talked about that convergence approach. There we can go for a model village system of extension approach. All stakeholders, all the these things, players in the field of extension, they can come together. They can do their activities there in convergence with each other, so that village can be developed as a model village system of extension. Then that can be adopted, and that system, that approach can be replicated in the different villages. That model village system of extension. Then another things will come, that is ABCD, asset-based community development. We are always talking about we are doing the problem analysis, need analysis, need problem ranking, need analysis. These are the things. But have you ever thought that you are not the person to resolve all the problems? There may be problems, various problems must be there, but you cannot, with your this much of basket full of technology, you cannot resolve all the problems. You have to prioritize the problems, and for that you have to see. Suppose somebody told you in some village that you went to that village, sir, I want to do some these things. I want to go for some hybrid rice cultivation. Suppose somebody told that I want to do some hybrid rice cultivation, so please give me some technologies, these things. First of all, you should know that for hybrid rice cultivation, intensive input are required. Whether that much of intensive input facilities are there, you have to give proper irrigation facilities, fertilizer, all kinds of things will be there, quality input should be there, everything should be there. And besides that also, you have to first test the varieties also there. So that thing you have to see. If another thing, if you develop that variety or produce that crop also, whether after that anybody likes that variety, likes that crop, what is the market value of that crop, who are the consumers, whether there is any market for these things, who will be the taker for these things. So many things. So you have to see all these things, that is called asset-based community development. Here, this is a new management techniques for making any community rural-based program to be effective. You have to see what are the micro assets available in that location to support your technology or to sustain your technological intervention, which is most important. Then after that, again, I will tell you, above all, with this some of the new approaches. Above all, I will tell you, above all, because you are not in a position to have a clear-cut idea about the intervention, about the human mentality, about the behavior of these things, because you are not going to do a research on the human behavior research. That is a part of the scientist only. And so that you have to go to the field with a disruptive extension approach. At the field itself, you may have to change your approach according to the requirement of the people, according to the requirement condition prevailing there. So that is called disruptive extension. So this is all TNV system. I need not explain you this thing, because on the basis of there are some good points, on the basis of our strength also, something has been found out, some research studies. Then this is farmers field school approach. Here farmers are the better experts. Field is the learning place. Farmers are the decision maker. This was also found to be a successful method for technology dissemination process. And through different studies also, it was found that farmer school approach was found out that it is not a cost effective. Sometimes you have to give more time, more inputs to the farmers. Farmers are the since the decision makers. Sometimes also there is some problems in the making the decision at the village level also. So some recommendations are there regarding the adoption of the farmers field school approach. This is the impact of extension methods in the study has been conducted in Kenya, and they have shown that there is a strong association between extension methods and their influence in the farmers adoption. So farmers field school approach also having some better association with the influence with the farmers adoption. Means farmers adoption is having a significant association with the farmer field school approach. Again, market-led extension approach. There we are giving emphasis on the farmers interest group, farmers producer organization, digital marketing, market intelligence, that information system. Then the digital extension approach, we are talking about this Facebook, Blogger, Flickr, many things. But above all, I told you, because again also that was supported by some of the studies conducted in India also. Here ICT, they have told to make the information transfer more effective, there is need to increase the use of ICT tool for aquaculture extension. Similarly, in case of agriculture extension also. But ICT tools now, it has not become a major constant. We may tell ICT, once upon a time it was a major constant. Now many people having their hand there, everything they are having with ICT. That is Android phone, means they can access any type of information, any place, any point of time. So that is not a major constant nowadays. Only thing, we have to educate the people regarding the use of ICT tools. Then this is a mobile phone based advisory service system. Now it has become more prominent, more effective to pass on the information through mobile these things. So easily it is reaching to the people. Then rural advisory service, I told you, now the information hunger, that people having a hunger for the information, that kind of information should pass on to the people through this mobile based information system, through different types of SMS, through different types of nowadays also WhatsApp, YouTube also there, then website also there. Every organization also they are passing on information through SMS also. So that way that rural advisory service has become strengthened. And this is a farmer to farmer extension approach. Study has been conducted in Malawi. Here also through provision of extension, rural advisory service, farmer to farmer extension has been observed to be a successful model for the best extension approach. Again, in the study conducted in the University of Illinois, where it was found out that pluralistic convergence, that is a convergence of all the stakeholders, players in the extension field, that makes extension approach more effective. That is a year public-private partnership, farmer field school. All these studies, this I'll share with this presentation also if you want. And most important 4-5 approach, just I want to follow now. Commodity based village development. This is the important approach nowadays. Now that is the resource-based sustainable socio-economic development. What are the resources available with the stakeholders at the level, grassroots level, farm level, so that will help to sustain your technology. That will help to sustain your technology for the socio-economic development. That is called, for that you have to go for a commodity-based village development. One village, suppose you are going to develop some village, so we make a commodity base. Suppose maize village or only vegetable village will be there. So how it will be done? So one cluster of village you can go for only commodity based village development, so that marketing will not be a problem. That concentration of the technology will not be a problem. People will get the marketing facilities. You can able to concentrate your technological demonstration, technology dissemination process. Everything will be very successful there, and all the, because since you are taking up this technology, there should be some there should be meeting the requirement of the resource availability there, and for the socio-economic requirement of the people. And whenever you are talking about the market facilities, when you have a bumper crop, bumper commodity at one point, then people will come forward to take your product for the market. Then you will get the market opportunity. That is the things. So you'll be able to establish a market linkage for the product which has been branded on the name of your cluster. That is a branded product developed in the village. So you must be knowing many states different products. Suppose Kanjivaram silk, that is a product, it is branded in the name of that area. Sambalpuri sari in Odisha, that is product branded in the name of that area. So particular community they are involved in developing that product. Similarly, in the case of agriculture, you think of branding the product in the name of that village. That will be asset of that community. Then only you can establish a link with the market. That will be easy linkage with the market, and that will be sustainable practice, and that will develop your income, nutrition, socio-economic condition. Then model village system of extension approach. Here also you will see, you will able to, because many players are there in the field to bring the extension programs. You are having NGO, you are having state government, you are having different private organizations, SAUs are there, ICAR organizations there, KVKs are also there. But whether all are working together to have a to achieve a common goal of some development. Suppose developing the agricultural scenario or vegetable production scenario of that area, or some rice production scenario of that area, or particular simply irrigation. So everybody having their own agenda. So you have to make a linkage of the different agencies, that is called pluralistic convergence of the different stakeholders associated in the sector, so that it will, your all the efforts will come together, your skill, your resources, and all things will come together, and there is scope for skill improvement will be there. The scope for some leadership development, that is most essential for any kinds of community development program. So that will, then only you can develop this village or cluster village as a model village. That will consider as a model village of extension. So that can be replicated. If it is successful model, that can be, then next year it can be replicated in another 4-5 areas. So that way we can spread our technology, spread our development to different parts of the region. This is asset-based community development. Here, focal point is your asset, not the need of. Remember these things. Your focal point, what are the assets, micro assets available with the community, which will sustain your technological intervention. Micro assets only that can meet your, because your need may be many, but suppose without assessing the asset available there, simply we are going to intervene with the technology as per your need, that may not sustain, because for sustaining the technology you should have certain assets. Suppose I am going to intervene with certain technology for developing some entrepreneurship opportunities and the fish processing. Okay, fish processing commodities. But I'll have to see if I'll going to intervene with the fish processing technologies so that they'll get some entrepreneurial opportunities, the rural sector, that women self-help group. Whether sufficient raw materials are available in the nearby areas, how many type of fishes are available there, which type of fishes are available, which can be utilized for the fish product development. Because small fishes, because big fishes, there is no problem in marketing, big size fish. Only small fish, when there is problem in marketing or there is problem in the that wastage, these things, then we should go for the product development in order to reduce the post harvest loss. So that people have to see what are the resources available, what are the market nearby. If you are developing the products, whether thereby any nearby market is there, whether there is any consumer who are the takers of our product, whether consumers preference are there for our product. So your asset should match with your intervention. Then only, because your need may be many, your problems are many, you may have prioritize your problems. Then as per the needs, you are going to intervene. But if you don't have the asset to sustain your technological intervention, then it is useless. So that thing will have to, that is called asset-based community development. Here you are responding to creating local economic opportunity, because local available economy, you want to strengthen that one. So you have to find out the local availability, local economic opportunity, local resources means human resources, whether labors are available or not, raw materials are available or not, because you want to strengthen the local economy and mobilize individuals. Here asset-based community development, here individuals, association and institution will come together to build up their assets, because assets are not the individual assets, it is the community assets. So all people will come together to mobilize their assets for the use of the individual, association and institution. So this is the most important and the most appropriate approach nowadays, which can address the challenges of the community with accurate assessment of their available resources and suggest which technology can be intervened for expanding the knowledge and skill. So that is the another important asset-based community development. So some studies also has been conducted. It is a most important, most effective community driven approach. And lastly, I'll tell you, that is the last suggestion for you. That is the, as a extension scientist, extension worker, extension researcher, you are going to feel you are not dealing with only one factor. You are dealing with some persons, or you are dealing with some means, what is that? Um, some target group who are the most sensitive commodity, that is human being. So depending upon the resources, maybe they are raw materials, maybe they are market, maybe they are consumer, maybe they are. But when are you dealing with the human, whether they are interested for doing these things or not, what is their intention, how many people are interested to do these things, and if they are not interested, why they are not interested, you have to motivate them, you have to stimulate them. That's why in entrepreneurship development also, you used to tell one thing, 3 stages: stimulatory stage, supportive stage and sustenance stage. You have to stimulate, you have to motivate them, you have to then only they will be able to know these are the things which may be helpful. They may not be knowing, there may be some lack of information, lack of knowledge, these things, but it is very difficult to motivate them on the basis of them certain conditions. That is the stimulatory phase. Then supportive phase, you have to give them training, capacity building, nurturing them through incubation, other things, many things, through awareness building, then technology demonstration, many things. Then things come sustenance stage. That is called another page where you'll be able to know whether your effort is successful or not. If you're not able to sustain this practice with certain techniques, then it will be a failure. So disruptive extension approach giving you total freedom in the field. So extension approach your weapon. But at the field, when are you going to a field, by seeing the field condition, you may change, you may have a blending of different extension approach. So that is called disruptive extension approach. Sometimes we used to tell some cost recovery mechanism of extension. Now we are talking, now we are telling that we should not give anything free of cost. Because free of cost of giving anything, it is of no use. People don't bother for this. People don't give value for free of things. Suppose somebody give you free of cost one laptop, you may not able to know the value of that laptop or value of that, because it is free. You may not able to maintain it. If you have purchased it from by saying through loan or something, then you will take care of this thing. So like this, when you are giving a technology, giving a facility to a community, it should be based on some custom recovery mechanism through custom hiring center. So that kind of some things that you have to see in the field, which thing will click in the field. You have to fine tune that system in the field depending upon the frequency of the people's mentality. You have to fine tune your approach, extension approach. So this is called disruptive extension approach. So dear students, with this I want to conclude my lecture. So this is the nothing, because only things where the social scientists, we are dealing with the most sensitive stakeholders, that is human being. So you have to be very careful, very thorough in your approach, and you have to be very, you should have the basic knowledge of all the technology. Remember that all people don't, because successful people, they never have some different type of things or different kinds. Only things, they just modify the things. They just have a fine tune the thing in a different way. Then only they become successful. So don't think that social scientific people, sometimes they always having a feeling that no, people are not taking up all these things. Some people they are not considering as scientists like this. But you should think that you are the beauty of this research area. If you are not taking the technology, if you are not taking a prominent role in the field of technology, dissemination technology, these things, the development cannot occur, the research cannot be transferred to a development. Okay, so with this I conclude my lecture. So thank you very much for the patient hearing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for delivering such a nice session. Ira sir has joined.
Okay.
Sir?
Milind,
How are you?
fine.
Yeah, just one meeting was there and Anil came to home.
Yes. And Manohar called me 2-3 times. I thought, okay, that students are there, means I should join.
Yeah, very nice to see you.
Okay. Actually, my father expired. That's why I removed my this thing.
When?
7th February.
Okay.
6th February.
So what happened?
Actually, because of the age problem, he was 90 plus. So
Okay, 90 means too much.
multiple organ failure.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And how is going on?
Okay, things are going on here smoothly.
Yeah.
So everything is okay there?
Yeah, fine.
Okay then. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So Manar, if anything is there, otherwise.
Yes, sir. Let me formally propose a vote of thanks to conclude the session. So, on behalf of Postgraduate Institute, Mahatma Phule Krishi Vidyapith Rahuri, I am very much thankful to Mohanty sir for giving his precious time and guiding our students on a very important aspect from the perspective of ICAR, JRF, SRF, and ERS NEET examinations, that is innovative approaches in extension. Sir started with the basics, right from describing the definitions of agricultural extension and how agricultural extension has evolved and what 21st century demands from extensionists and what is the extension plus and all those things. Sir has described very nicely. So on behalf of our department and institute, I am very much thankful and grateful to you, sir, for guiding our students on this very important topic. Thank you once again.